Visual Baker. I'm Maria. This is my granddaughter, Bella.
Hi.
Today we're going to play with the fondant that I showed you how to make. And I say play because it really is. Another video, I'll show you how to cover a cake with it. But for this one, I just want you to see the things that you can do. And I'm telling you, this is just a tiny bit. Bella has played with the fondant before, and she iced the cake pretty doggone good for her first try. That was a lot of fun. So now she wanted to know how to make some flowers. So I'm going to be all over the place because there's so many things I want you to learn. But we'll just tackle a couple at a time for now. All right? Let's play. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you say you wanted to cut that?
I do. So this is a fondant I made. I haven't done anything to it. I'm gonna cut this in half, and we're each gonna have our own. I am a little sick, so the stuff that I'm gonna play with, it gets tossed. Because my hands are gonna be in it, and you know the whole thing, you know. So, but don't worry about it. No one's gonna eat it. She's gonna take half of this and mimic the things that I do, and probably come up with her own. That's the thing with fondant. It's just so versatile. That is the fun part about it. So, also, I do want to let you know, when you become a cake decorator, your hands kind of do this. You get a colorful hand. I'm telling you, it's just what it is. My color exploded, and so it was just everywhere, and it's a mess. So I spent a lot of my time this morning trying to clean that up. Doesn't matter, we're still going to go have fun. Okay, so a couple of the things that we're going to start off with is we're each going to have a bench scraper, only because in case it's still tacky, you're going to need to scrape up as you're kneading it. Now, when you buy it at the store, this stuff is so hard. You have to really, really work it to make it pliable enough to use. When you make it, it's already ready to go. It's already soft and mushy and perfect. Sure. And it's a lot softer inside because it's in this casing and it's nice and tight. So we've got that. We've got powdered sugar we're going to use because you do not use flour at all. You know, when you're kneading and you're dusting your board, you use powdered sugar, but you have to sift it. So I'm going to scoop it in here and sift it as I go. We're going to flour the board, the countertop, and we're going to add more flour if you need it, and you just keep kneading it and kneading it. So,
How come you can't use flour? Why do you have to use powdered sugar?
Flour, when you work with flour, you're going to taste exactly, when you work with fondant, you're going to taste exactly what you put in. So if you put in flour, you're going to taste flour. This is a sweet dessert icing, so you don't want to kill it by using flour. That's why when you make gravy, you toast it. You toast the flour so it doesn't have that bland taste. Excellent question. Okay, so we're going to have our colors because someone had asked how you color it. It is so simple. And we're just going to play. We're just going to play. There's other tools that you've got going, and this is where you're going to spend a lot of money because you're going to think you need everything. This essentially is everything you would need. And you can buy these kits at the craft stores, you know. I think I'm missing a piece or two, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll show you what you need. And then there's this this rolling pin. Now they're saying it's a special fondant rolling pin, and you know me, it's a rolling pin. That's it. I'll let her use this because it came with the kit. But I'm just going to use my rolling pin because it works. Flour it, powder it with the sugar, and roll it. That's all you ever need in a rolling pin. Don't buy into the, you know. Now the width on this is going to be very thin, which I personally like. You may be more comfortable with a thicker width just because it's a little scary. You'll get past that real quick. All right, so you can use this. I'm going to cut this in half. And before I even turn it out, I'm going to remind you how I covered it with the shortening when I packed it. Oh yeah, that feels nice. Here, I'm going to cut it in half, that way I don't touch yours. And you can take that. But hold on. Before we do anything, we need to cover our countertop with powdered sugar. So Bella, I'm going to have you do this, okay? I'm going to put this here. Go ahead and be generous with it.
How many?
It doesn't matter. It's not a measuring thing. So you put it in there. That might be 10 times more than we need. We might need 10 times more. So you can tuck that in there for now. And then, yeah. And tuck it out in one place. You have room. And then just powder this away. Make sure to get all where you're going to be working. And then take your half. Okay.
I touched it.
That's all right. It's not supposed to stay perfect. So you're good. Now, take your half. All right. Feel how what does it feel like to you?
It feels like dough, like bread dough.
Yeah, kind of like Play-Doh. Kind of like Play-Doh. So, because it's been sitting, we still have to work this. So we're going to put it here, and we're going to just knead it. Yeah, and you know what's funny? The stuff that you buy in the store is still a lot harder to knead. But you still have to work it because you're breaking its structure and making it wake up and get back to work. So when you knead, so you have a ball, you're going to pull this up, push it down, and you're going to use the ball in your hand and scrape it like that.
And this.
Perfect. You see what you're doing? How you're smearing it and kind of breaking it apart? Then you'll see that it starts to get there's a little more give. How's it feeling?
Well, it feels softer than when I started.
That's all you need. Okay, so while you're going to knead, I'm going to go on and show them at this point, before you're really done, I'm going to break mine up into a few pieces, and I'm going to color them.
How did yours go so much faster than mine?
Just strength, babe. It's just squeeze it, mush it. It doesn't matter how you get it. You're going to see how it's a little tacky there. That's easy. It's an easy fix. And that's what this is for. This bench scraper will scrape that up. So let me just take it out. It's all right. You won't use that. No, I mean that stuff that you put in.
Oh.
All right, so I'm just going to wrap this back up because I'm not going to use this part right now. These I'm going to use, and I'm going to color them. It's all right. So when you have that sticky part, it means you need more powdered sugar. All right, so in absolutely no random order, okay, I'm just going to put a drop of food coloring. I don't even want to use a full drop. All right, and I'm just going to mush it together. Now, if you don't have a sifted powdered sugar, you're going to get these little rocks. You don't want that. Keep your hands and your dough soft.
How do you think it looks?
How does it feel? I'll go ahead and touch it. I would do a little bit more. You know, you can tell because when you pull it, if it stays that shape, you're good. If it wants to come back, it's not done yet. I'm gonna go ahead and, whew, it's gonna be very bright. That's all right. pinks and the pastels look really pretty, especially when you're going to do the whole cake like that.
Should have gotten that apron.
I know, right? This will work it. And we are going to need more powdered sugar. And if your hands do get too sticky, you can wash them, but you can also put a little bit of shortening on it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a marbled cake. So I'm not so concerned with this particular icing not being completely incorporated. But that's essentially all you do. You just keep pinching and pulling and pinching and pulling. How do you do?
I broke it. Come on. You broke it. Kind of.
It's all right. When you're done, you want to cover up whatever part you're not using until you're ready to use it. You want help with yours?
Can you feel it to make sure I'm
Sure.
doing it right at least?
I can see that you're doing it right. Okay, so you have a lot of tackiness here. That's all right. So we're not going to eat yours either, since I got my hands in it, and I'm not feeling it. And I've got icing, so. Yeah, that feels good. All right, now do you want to just roll yours out? Are you going to just keep yours white and play with it? All right, so this is where you would stop and roll it down. So make sure this is nice and covered, and this is nice and covered. But let's separate them, because this will make a big sheet. So we don't want, since we have such a small area for this, let's cover this. All right, so now we're going to just make this into a ball so that you can start. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop and clean this up. While I do that, you just start rolling this out, okay? So make sure you got powdered sugar. You can make it into any shape because you're not really going to be covering, you're just going to be playing. So you want it thin enough. Let's go ahead and, let's use this bigger one. Cover this with sugar. Because when you, if she kept it like this length, with this further apart, then that's fine. But she's going long lengthwise, so we want to make sure that it gets covered. And then there are no indentations. All right, roll away, baby. Meantime, I'm going to continue coloring. You need more room? You need more room.
Should I flip it over?
You definitely want to make sure that it doesn't stick. Now,
Yes.
yeah, so I'm sorry. So this is another reason why the bench scraper is helpful. And so when you roll it out, just like when you're making tortillas, you want to roll it and flip it, roll it and flip it. But it's very, very versatile and very pliable and very easy and very forgiving. So you just stick with the powdered sugar. Making sure that it's nicely coated. And go again. So see how, let's go ahead and brush all of this off. This is just so that you can see exactly what you're doing. And once you turn it, oh, I'm sorry. I just ruined her cup. All right, so this is a good length. This is a good length, and it's pretty durable there. I said length, I meant thickness. That's a good thickness. And yes, you will get messy. Now, ordinarily, I would absolutely stop after each one. I'm sorry, love. Here, I'll just take that one. Well, you know what I could? No, I won't. I won't do that. This is a good length, though, actually. You should, width. Doggone it. It's a good width. So it's very pliable. See, it falls nicely. So I would stop rolling if I were you. Okay. All right. So let me just. So ordinarily, I think I'm discouraging you more than encouraging you on this video. But don't be. We're just playing. If this were a job I was doing, I would definitely take every single step separately to make sure it's all done right. And I would never color one right after the other like this. But like I said, since I'm just playing, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so. Blue, yellow, I'll do green, and then I'll do that. So what you have now, I'm going to give you, there's 2 flower cutters, okay? And you can, flowers you can do in any kind of way. These are just the 2 that came. Let's try this and do a couple of those. Should I take them out? Take them out. Now, when you do, it's very delicate now. All right. So again, everything has powdered sugar on it. So put that one right here. Okay, and this is just a sponge. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. This is just a sponge that I've wrapped in plastic wrap. Okay, hold up on that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the ball, okay, and you're going to just kind of round it out to narrow it. You just want the ends very wispy. Okay, so do this to the ends. To make them as thin as possible. Okay? Okay. It really is a lot of fun to play with. And because I'm going to do the rainbow kind of thing, I don't really care what this is going to look like because it's all going to mesh out in the middle. Now my hands, my hands remind me of the days where I was putting out cakes. I used to do 200 cakes a day. That was a day. And they've got all sorts of tools to use for fondant and stuff like that. But like I said, don't get caught up so much in the brand and what it does. They have this one tool that I think is like $7 or $8, and it essentially it holds your fondant or your modeling chocolate in a shape. So it's like a U. It's just a tube that is an open U. And you put this in and you let it dry. It does the same thing as a foil covered paper towel holder cut in half. So don't get so caught up in that. All right, this is good. All right, so then what you're gonna do, making sure that the edges are nice and open. That was a good cut, Bella. You're going to fold this one in and around. And then you're going to wrap this one in and around that. And this one around that. And so on. Did you follow? Mm-hmm. And this one around that. Then what you'll do is, you'll have to let this dry. And it's falling because it was so thin. I personally like it thin. That way you can really shape it. So we'll put this in a little container and we'll let it dry. In the meantime, you can carry on with that. Make sure to keep your tools powdered too. So while she's doing that, I want to show you another piece with hers. Alice, can I just take a piece of this? Doesn't it feel good? It just feels nice to the hand, right? So this is, it looks like a little pie cutter, right? And it comes with different inserts that you can take out. And all it does is give you, and you definitely want to cut hard. You want to press hard because you want the fine lines. All right, so always keeping your tools covered in sugar. All right, now if this were a long ribbon, you would see that that would look really nice across the whole cake or across the border or anywhere. It's just a nice added trim. You can brush this with food coloring. You can brush this with dust, luster dust. You can do so much with this. You can with any of the cakes. Fondant. I'm going to put this right there. And I'm going to get to work on my rainbow.
How's this?
Perfect. That's so nice. Now I can see that that was thicker. That's okay, because once it's dried, you can lay them down, you know. So we're going to put this to dry and finish playing with it. Okay, so Bella does not like marshmallows at all. Bella was just tasting it. What do you think, Bella, honestly?
It does taste a little bit like marshmallows, but it's better. I mean, I don't personally like the taste of marshmallows, but this I would eat.
Oh, that says a lot then. Yeah, it's definitely better than the store. Well, sorry, it is. It's better than the store-bought kind. All right. So before I go on, I want to show you another way to make some other flowers. Same cutter. Give me four of those, please. Cut them nice and good and shake them so that they don't stick. Okay. And this one is as simple. I'm going to pinch the edges just because I like the roughed look. No flower is 100% perfect, though they sure do look like it sometimes, right, Bells? Mm-hmm. So I'm pinching the edges just to give them a thinner look. And these are kind of like daisies. So I'm going to put them in the center of this bowl. And then I'm going to go with the opposite one and put it in there as well. I will be teaching a lot on fondant because there's so much to do. So Bells, you take this, so it's already pinched pretty well. Lay it in there and then do the same thing with this other one. And I'm just shaking off the excess. And I'm doing this so it has a little bit of a curved shape. And this would be perfect. I don't have a paper towel holder to cut in half and put in foil, but this is exactly what I would use. So I'm just pinching the edges. Just to make them not so, I don't want such a defined line. And then I'm going to put them on the opposite so it stays like this, okay? Now, another thing I could do with this is take a little ball and lift up each petal underneath towards the end, and then let it get dimension. You see that? You see that, Bells? You'll see more in a minute more. You're good. You can still take it out. You can still fix. I mean, that's the great thing about this. If it's not glue, I mean, it's in fact, it's very easy to move, so you do want to be careful. I'm just going to pinch this right there. And if you wanted to, you could use just a drop of glue. Please don't use glue. I meant water. Yeah, not glue. And then when it dries, you're going to have this pretty cool dimension. Now, once it is dried, then we'll take this and we'll paint it with some food coloring, or we'll paint it with some luster dust, or whatever we're in the mood for. And you can do anything with it. That's all I'm doing, is just getting a ball. And my hands will be like this for about 4 days. Alright, so now I've got dimension. And I can either leave the balls in there, or I could wait until it dries and then remove them. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a marble fondant. And this one is going to take a little bit more work. So you're going to use your white base. And just daub your food colorings. No rhyme or reason. And again, you'll really pay more attention when you're doing your food coloring and you're mixing. I'm just putting this all together because the goal is to just match it. So I'm not worried about it.
Have you done this before?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. Doesn't look like it, huh? But fondant is not my choice of medium. You know what that means? A medium is an artist's expression. So some people do oil painting, some people do pencils, some people do fondant, some people use icing. You know, so that's what that is.
So what is your medium?
Icing. That is I had an old teacher 100 years ago, and she used to be so strict about it being an artesian skill, and it is. It takes a little bit more trickery to ice a cake and decorate a cake in icing than it does with fondant. Fondant's fun, and if that's what works for you, man, then you're probably really good at it. I know my viewers have a lot of trepidation with starting something like this because it just looks intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. It's just different. All right, that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to roll this out. Get some more icing in there. I do. Once you roll it out, you get it and remove it. I picked the wrong colors, that's for sure. And yeah, you should have used your apron. So if you use purple and pink and yellow, the greens and blues, I think they look really cool, but the girly colors seem to be more, I don't know, unicornish. How's that? You can see just there the colors that are.
Yeah, that looks cool.
So that's all I'm going to do, and this is a good texture. So one recipe will cover an 8-inch cake plus room for decoration. So I just love how pliable this is. You can just do all sorts of stuff with it. So you take this and you cover it up. I don't have my brush. Of course, I'm just really not on point today. But let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so you can see the colors and the marbleizations. That is really cool. Next time I won't use the blue, but that's a pretty neat looking fondant. That would look pretty good on on a cake, or for, you can even do flowers with this now as it is. Okay, so we've got this beautiful fondant, and we've got the white one. Again, you can do any color. It's your toy, so have fun with it. But I'm going to show you how to make a rose, a fondant rose, with no tools at all. So you're just going to rip off a piece. You can use white or you can use this, it doesn't matter. And you're going to just make it into a ball. Smush it, make it smooth, and then roll it in a ball. The reason I said make it smooth is because when you take fondant and you just roll it in a ball, you're going to get all these broken, unsmooth edges. So you want to mush it together, then roll it in a ball. So mush and roll. All right, yes. Then you're going to take one end, hold it, and then you're going to make a point out of it. So kind of like roll it in a ball and then go like that. Okay? So you want it like a teardrop. That's fine. And it's not essential right now because it's all going to get covered. So then you're going to take more and you're going to smush it and roll it.
Not too much?
Yeah. What we're doing is we're making each individual petal. Yeah. So mush it and roll it. Okay. And then I'm going to flatten this out. Just, that's it. I'm going to flatten the edges more than the center. Okay, and that's good, but it's undefined. So let's pinch the edges a little bit more, and that's what you want. Okay, so see how the edge is pinched more than the center? I don't know if you can see that, but it is. All right, so we're going to take this. I have a little too much. We're going to take this pinched roll, and we're going to wrap it. You can stretch it a little bit, and you're going to wrap it. And that's the first petal.
How do I make the petal stick to the...
You pinch. You pinch, 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 pinch. That's the top part. And don't look at mine. So don't worry about the bottom at all. Don't worry about the bottom. You're going to cut that off and it's going to sit nice.
So the circle part should be on the top?
The pointed part should be on the top. So let me get your base going. Okay, now once you have the ball, you're going to take your fingertip and just roll it this way. Okay, so now you got that teardrop. See? This is your top. And you want to wrap it all the way around. You got the right idea. Okay, so you want to wrap it. You can stretch it if you need to, and then you just pinch. Pinch, 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 pinch. Okay? And believe it or not, that part that's broken right there is going to look really cool. I know, you wouldn't think so, right? Okay, so let's get another one. Keep your fingers dry with cut sugar, and then pinch it and roll it. And then pinch another end. And don't worry about the bottom. We're really only concentrating on the top part. Okay? It looks funky, doesn't it? It looks like a seashell. That's all right. So I'm going to put it on the bottom here, about halfway. Okay? And then I'm going to pull and wrap and pull and wrap. And wrap it around. Okay?
And this part?
It's going to start right in the middle. There you go, right in the middle of the last petal. Pinch, 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 pinch. You do want the whole thing thin. You really don't want a thick part. It's just going to be easier to work with, but you want the top thinner. And then you start in the middle of the last petal and then wrap around. Okay, And at this point, you can start folding back your petals. Now, if this was all pink or all red, you'd definitely see a pretty flower for me. Okay? Then when you're done, I would make it bigger, but just for the sake of this, I'm just going to cut this off. You can use scissors, or you can use your fingers, or whatever you want. And then let it sit and dry. Okay, so we're going to continue playing and have fun with the different fondant that's made. But that is essentially it for fondant. And again, like I said, there's thousands of things you can do with this stuff. This is just a few. We'll keep playing as we go on and we progress. But until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, Bella.
You're welcome.
She did great. All right, my friends, until next time, happy baking.
Ah, that was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.